There's a lot to be said about the mountains, about the people who live here, and the secrets we keep. I will tell you the story how it was told to me, about the day when our old village leader, the father of Eryk Bearslayer, disappeared, and what happened then. Eryk had grown up in these mountains, but his father had not. He had come here as a young man, still almost a boy, fleeing the Great War. He barely made it. Alone, wounded, exhausted, with only a few shreds of clothing on his body and no weapons. This is how he arrived here, in the dead of winter. Freezing and tired, the vast expanse opened up endlessly before him. The night offered no solace, only darker shadows and harsher winds. Yet, he moved on. What was he to do? Lie down and die? No, not him. Not one of us. Not this time. Just before a snowstorm reached him, he found shelter. An abandoned cave leading deep, deep into the mountains. With trembling hands, he managed to strike a spark and nurture a small fire. Only when the last flame died did he realize that he was not alone. A great she-bear loomed at the cave entrance, blocking the pale light of the full moon and the only way out. He stumbled backwards, lost his footing, fell. Yet she did not move. She only watched him with ancient dark eyes, filled with such sorrow and such knowledge. And for the briefest moment it seemed to him that he could almost hear her speak. You will not die, my child. My fur shall shield you from the icy winds. My blood shall be your fervor, and like my claws shall be your strength. She bared her teeth and braced herself, and with terrible force she tore into her own hide. She died right there in front of him. And even as the wind picked up outside and snow shrouded the land, Eryk's father survived. He never forgot that night and the she-bear's sacrifice, even as he emerged from that cave, and he made sure that his people and his family never did either. Eryk grew up learning to honor the great mountain bears, and the whole village used to share the rich spoils of their hunts with them. No attack from them was known, no livestock ever slain. Occasionally, they could be seen near the village, watching them from high above, but they rarely drew near. Yet, when Eryk's father disappeared, it had been those bears that he had wanted to seek out. The winter had been harsh, the ground was frozen, bandits had been seen nearby, the herds were restless. Eryk had just turned 18 that year. Early on he had followed his father and the village hunter into the wild, and learned from them what he could. He had quickly turned into a formidable hunter. Yet, that day, he missed his shot. One that could not have been simpler. It seemed to him that the wind had changed. It seemed to reach out to him, the briefest touch. A whisper, a scream, then silence. After many days, Eryk's father had not returned. The village hunter refused to speak of it. In the lonely night, Eryk's mother cried, as if she knew more than she would say. In spring, a wanderer came to the village, a stranger. He had found a campsite, destroyed by wild beasts, and a knife that had once belonged to Eryk's father. He talked well and sincere. He convinced many, and the more he spoke, the higher he fanned the flames of Eryk's wrath. Finally Eryk, always short-tempered and hard to dissuade, set out to take revenge on those who he was convinced had killed his father, for there was no doubt in his mind that he would not find him alive, or who was to blame. On his map, he marked all the spots where he knew that he would find bears. And he visited them. Deadly hunter, son with a bleeding heart. He showed no mercy. Eryk, murderous Bearslayer. Two bears he slew close to a village. Two others he slew near a hunter whom he had trusted. The bitterness of suspected betrayal poisoned his mind. Rage and bloodlust chased away all caution and drowned all thought. But he missed one. The one closest to home. There he made camp by a small lake. Yet rest would not come, and the thought to return home began to weigh heavy on him as night fell. In the empty silence of the quiet grove, he grasped for any sense of triumph, of victory, but he could not find it. only regret and shame. Eryk placed his bow on the stones before him, and he drew his knife. It was in that very moment that he heard something moving high above him, a shadow on the cliffs. Slowly he got to his feet, and he found himself face to face with the very last of the great mountain bears, and the creature watched him with ancient, sad eyes. Then it turned and moved away into the night. This time, Eryk did not try to shoot or to follow it. No, not this time. No longer. And once the bear had left in peace, unharmed, the fire seemed warmer again. The blue night, gentler. Finally Eryk found sleep, and he slept until the fire had burned low. He dreamt of his father and what he had told him, what he should not have forgotten, and never again would. When he awoke, he knew that he was no longer alone. Fearing that the bear might have returned after all, he quickly jumped to his feet and drew his bow. Yet, this time he waited to see. No bear at all, but a girl. No, not a girl, a woman grown, but one that he had known as a girl when he had been younger, and one whose friendship he had cherished. Seeing her now filled his heart with relief, for it flew to her much faster than his arrow could have. But this is where we'll end my story. I have talked long enough. Perhaps I can tell you more another time, if you would like.